of our Divine Mother. Our Divine Mother says at the very moment when everything seems to go from bad to worse, it is then that we must make a supreme act of faith and know that the grace will never fail us. With always our love and blessings is our Divine Mother. Sri Aurobindo's Savitri, Book 4, The Book of Birth and Quest, Canto 4, The Quest, page 430. Across wide noons and glowing afternoons, she met with nature and with human forms and listened to the voices of the world. Driven from within, she followed her long road, mute in the luminous cavern of her heart, like a bright cloud through the resplendent day. At first, her path ran far through peopled tracks, admitted to the line eye of states and theatres of the loud act of man. Her carven chariot, with its fretted wheels, threaded through clamorous marts and sentinel towers, past figured gates and high dream sculptured fronts, and gardens hung in the sapphire of the skies, pillared assembly halls with armored guards, small fanes where one calm image watched man's life, and temples hewn as if by exiled gods to imitate their lost eternity. Often, from gilded dusk to argent dawn, where jewel lamps flickered on frescoed walls, and the stone lattice stared at moonlight boughs, half conscious of the tardy listening night, dimly she glided between banks of sleep, at rest in the slumbering palaces of kings. Hamlet and village saw the fate van pass, homes of a life bent to the soil it plows, for sustenance of its short and passing days, that transient keep their old repeated course, unchanging in the circle of a sky which alters not above our mortal toil. Words of our Divine Mother, taken from the collective works of our Divine Mother, Question and Answers of 1954, August 1954, page 271. Question, sweet mother, what's interesting is this. What is there in us that has made us come here? For this, our Divine Mother says, that's interesting. What is the reason of you being here? Well, it's for each one to find it. Not yet? Have you found it? Not yet? Why? That's another interesting question. If you asked yourself this, you would be obliged to see the answer somewhere within. Because it is within you. The answer? What is there in us that made us come here? The answer is within. There is nothing outside. Our Divine Mother says, and if you keep going deep enough, you will find a very clear answer and an interesting answer. If you go deep enough within yourself into a sufficiently complete silence from all outer things, you will find within you that flame about which I often speak. And in this flame, you will see your destiny. You will see the aspiration of centuries which has been concentrated gradually to lead you through countless births to the great realization, the great day of realization, that preparation which has been made through thousands of years and is reaching its culmination. Our Divine Mother says, and as you will have gone very deep to find this, all your incapacities, all your weaknesses, everything in you that denies and does not understand, all that you will feel that it is not yourself. It is just like a garment which serves in some way and which you have put on for the time being. Our Divine Mother says, but you will understand that in order to be truly capable of profiting fully by the opportunity to do what you wanted to do, what you have aspired to do for such a long time, you must gradually bring the light, the consciousness, the truth into all these obscure elements of the external garment so that you may be able to understand integrally why you are here. And not only that, you may understand that, but you may be able to do it. For centuries, this has been prepared in you, not in this. And the Divine Mother pinches the skin of her forearm. This is quite recent, isn't it? But this is not your true self. And for centuries, it has been awaiting this opportunity. And then, says our Divine Mother, you enter immediately into the marvelous. You see to what an extent it is extraordinary that things which one has so long hoped for, things for which one has prayed so much, made so many efforts, suddenly a moment comes when they are realized. It is the moment when great things are done. One must not miss the opportunity.
And not a vain semblance of peace, thy freedom, and not a semblance of freedom, thy unity, and not a semblance of unity, for it is only thy peace, thy freedom, and thy unity that can triumph over the blind violence and the hypocrisy and falsehood that still reign upon earth. Seigneur, c'est ta paix que nous voulons, pas un simulacre de paix, c'est ta liberté que nous voulons, pas un simulacre de liberté, c'est ton unité que nous voulons, pas un simulacre d'unité, car seule ta paix, ta liberté, ton unité peuvent triompher de la violence aveugle et du mensonge hypocrite qui règne encore sur la terre.
वेदाहमेतं पुरुषं महान्तमादित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात्
तमेव विदित्वा यतिमृत्युमेति नान्यः पन्था विद्यते अयनाय ॐ प्रजापतिश्चरति गर्भे अन्तर्जायमानो बहुधा विजायते ॐ तस्य योनिं परिपश्यन्ति धीरास्तस्मिन्नः तस्थूर्भुवनानि विश्वा तस्थूर्भुवनानि विश्वा या कुन्देन्दुतुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिवीरदेवे सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु मीरा भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा ॐ सर्वगणे सर्ववरदे सर्वदुष्टभयङ्करी सर्वदुःखहरे देवी महामीरा नमोऽस्तु ते सिद्धिबुद्धिप्रदे देवी मुक्तिप्रदायिनी मन्त्रमूर्ते सदा देवी महावीरा नमोऽस्तु ते आद्यन्तरहिते देवी आद्यशक्ते महेश्वरी योगदे योगसम्भुते महामीरा नमोऽस्तु ते महामीरा नमोऽस्तु ते
Words of our Divine Mother, taken from the collective works of our Divine Mother, question and answers of 1954, date 15 September 1954. Question, Sweet Mother, page 321. Question, Sweet Mother, what is the way to accept the grace with gratitude? For this, our Divine Mother says, first of all, you must feel the need for it. This is the most important thing. It is to have a certain inner humility which makes you aware of your helplessness without the grace. That truly without it you are incomplete and powerless. This is to begin with is the first thing. Our Divine Mother says it is an experience one can very well have. When you see even people who know nothing find themselves in a quite difficult circumstance of or facing a problem which must be solved, or as I just told you, an impulse which must be overcome, or something that has disturbed them, and then they realize they are lost. They don't know what to do. Neither their mind, nor their will, nor their feelings help. They do not know what to do. Then it happens. There is within them something like a kind of call, a call to something which can do what one cannot do. One aspires to something which is capable of doing what one cannot do. Our Divine Mother says this is the first condition. And then, if you become aware that it is only the grace which can do it, that the situation in which you find yourself, from there the grace alone can pull you out, can give you the solution and the strength to come out of it, then quite naturally an intense aspiration awakes in you. And intense aspiration awakes in you, a consciousness which is translated into an opening. If you call, if you aspire, if you have hope to get an answer, and you will quite naturally open yourself to the Divine's grace. And then our Divine Mother says, and later you may pay great attention to this. And our Divine Mother puts her fingers on her lips. The grace will answer you. The grace will pull you out of the trouble. The grace will give you the solution to your problem, or will help you to get out of your difficulty. But once you're free from the trouble and have come out of your difficulty, don't forget that it is the grace which pulled you out, and don't think it is yourself. For this indeed is the important point. Our Divine Mother says, most people, as soon as the difficulty has gone, and say, after all, I pulled myself out of the difficulty quite well. There you are. And when you lock and bolt the door, you see, you cannot receive anything anymore. You need once again some acute anguish, some terrible difficulty for this kind of inner stupidity to give way, and for you to realize once more that you can do nothing, because it is only when you grow aware that you are powerless that you begin to be just a little open and plastic. Our Divine Mother says, but as long as you think that what you do depends on your own skill and your own capacity, truly, not only do you close your door, you close one door, but you close lots of doors one upon another and bolt them. You're shutting yourself up in a fortress, and nothing can enter there. That is the great drawback. One forgets very quickly. Quite naturally, one is satisfied with one's own capacity. For this, the child says, but sweet mother, even when one tries to think that one is powerless, there is something which believes one is powerful. For this, our Divine Mother says, yes, it is very difficult to be sincere. It is very difficult to be sincere. That is why the blows multiply and sometimes become terrible, because that's the only thing which brings and breaks your stupidity. Because that's the only thing which breaks your stupidity. This is the justification of calamities. Only when you are in an acute, painful situation, and indeed before something that affects you deeply, then that makes the stupidity melt away a little. But as you say, even when there is something that melts, there is still something which remains inside, and that is what lasts so long. How many blows are needed in life for one to know the very depths that one is nothing, one can do nothing, one does not exist, that one is nothing, that there is no entity without the divine consciousness and the grace. From the moment, says our Divine Mother, one knows it, it is over. All the difficulties have gone. When one knows it integrally, there is nothing which resists, but till that moment, and it takes very long. For this, the child says, sweet mother, why does it the blow come all at once? For this, our Divine Mother says, because that would kill you. For the blow is strong enough to cure you. It would simply crush you. It would reduce you to pulp. It is only by proceeding little by little, very gradually, that you can continue to exist. Naturally, this depends on the inner strength, inner sincerity, and on the capacity for progress, for profiting by experience, as I said a while ago, on not forgetting. If one is lucky enough not to forget, then one goes much faster. One can go very fast, and if at the same time one has the inner moral strength, which, when the red hot iron is at hand, does not extinguish by trying to pour water over it, but instead goes to the very core of the abscess, then in this case things go very fast also. But not many people are strong enough for this. On the contrary, they very quickly do this, and our Divine Mother gives a gesture like this. in order to hide from themselves. How many pretty little explanation one gives oneself, how many excuses one piles up for all the foolishness one has committed. For this, the child says, Divine Mother, does the number of blows depend on people? For this, the Divine Mother says, yes, it depends on people. It depends, as I said, on their capacity to progress, on their strength and resistance. I know very few people who do not need blows, says our Divine Mother. For this, the child says, does one have to aspire for it or does it come naturally? For this, our Divine Mother says, one must have a sincerity in the aspiration, really want to progress. One must truly say, yes, I want to progress with sincerity. Whatever happens, I want to progress. Then it comes. But as I said, it comes with a power of plenitude which holds an intense joy when one has taken a decision, has decided to stop something in oneself, not to just repeat a stupidity one has committed, or to do something which one finds impossible, or to do it which one knows should be done. When one has taken the decision, one has put in the full sincerity of one's will, then if a terrible blow comes to compel you to do what you have decided to do, it is a blow. You feel glorified, you're quite happy, it is magnificent. You see, you feel something magnificent here, and our Divine Mother points to the heart. But as I said, it comes with a power of plenitude which holds an intense joy. When one has taken a decision, has decided to stop something in oneself, just not to repeat a stupidity one has committed, or to do something which one finds impossible or difficult to do, which one knows should be done, when one has taken the decision and has put in the full sincerity of one's will, well, then, if a terrible blow comes to compel you to do what you have decided to do, it is a blow, but you feel glorified. You are quite happy. It is magnificent, you see. You feel something magnificent here, and our Divine Mother points to the heart and then says, there is such a big difference between the mishaps that come to you just because you are in a purely external, mechanical, physical consciousness and in a state of ignorance which makes you commit all possible follies, which naturally brings their consequences inevitably. There is such a great difference between this and the altogether higher state to which you rise when you have determined to master yourself, to live only in the consciousness of the truth, whatever the cost, no matter what the price of progress to progress. And the things that happen to you then are so full of meaning, you see, so clearly in them that shining truth, that light which illumines you on the path, as though you had a beacon here to guide you. You see very clearly it is no longer something that crushes you like a block of stone falling on your path. It is an overpowering resplendence. That is why one always says it is only the first step that needs an effort. That is why, says our Divine Mother, one always says it is only the first step that needs an effort. The first step means come out from that level and climb to this one. And from that, everything changes. But one must come out completely from that level. One must remain there. One must not try to keep one foot here, one foot there, for all that will not do. There you are, my children, says our Divine Mother. Prayers and Meditations, July 8th, 1914. O divine force, supreme illuminator, hearken to our prayer. Move not away from us. Do not withdraw. Help us to fight the good fight. Make firm our strength for the struggle. Give us the force to conquer. O my sweet Master, thou whom I adore without being able to know thee, thou who I am without being able to realize thee, my entire conscious individuality prostrates itself before thee and implores, in the name of the workers in their struggle and of the earth in her agony, in the name of suffering humanity and of striving nature, O sweet Master, O marvelous unknowable, O dispenser of all boons, thou who makest light spring forth in the darkness and strength to rise out of weakness, support our effort, guide our steps, lead us to victory.